national anthem does really send shockwaves through your spine, and it has been that kind of a moment already. Champions Cup, we're all set, and the team that will hold their nerves today will go away with the trophy. Here you go, 3 changes for Allied Bank Stallions. The returning Tayyip Tahir, Haris Rauf and Abrar really strengthening the lineup, and skipper Haris will be buoyed to see the return of these stars.
UMT Markhor unchanged. The bowling first, so you can look at the bowling options in terms of pace. Imran Jr., Akif Nisar, and then probably Imran and Awa will come up. Spin, also decent options there with Nawaz and Saad. Got good middle order as well, so that would be one thing that Allied Bank Stallions would keep in mind, hosting a total batting first.
Final pep talk. Zaman is the one who's doing all the talking, and Markhor charging on to the field. Crowds also settling into their seats. Coming out, they would have a job on their hand. We've seen in this tournament, they're able to sustain the early attack and spend some time in the middle. Really score runs on this pitch. Marina, talking is done. What do you make of this final? Who do you think on paper is edging this?
Oh, that's a hard question. When you look at the paper and the lineups, it's a pretty even contest. But I think obviously Allied Bank Stallion with 3 big names coming in, Tayyip, Tahir, Haris Rauf and Abrar, that adds a bit of more balance to the side in terms of the batting, because they did struggle in the middle overs. The Tayyip Tahir there, that can give a bit of a cushion to that middle order. And Haris and Abrar on these tracks can be deadly. But when you look at the other side, it's also an even contest. You've got a good middle batting order as well as good paces.
Sadaka has been very impressive in this tournament. Average of 32, a strike rate of 135. Just 19 years of age. He's really making some statements in this tournament. Yasir Khan has had a stop-start tournament. Still the experience of 36 games. The average of 24, he's better than that. Strike rate still very healthy at 134.
Fielding will be crucial in this all-important final. The experienced bowler, Mohammad Nawaz, will take up the new ball. Taking pace off straight away. You have to work a little harder. Sadakat has been in a sublime form. Had some runs against his reign. His power play will be important for both teams, and how they can manage to get momentum in their favour.
Rashid Riaz officiating at the far end, at the pavilion end. He is waiting for the clock. All in readiness. Will be the call very shortly, and you will hear it. I'm sure everything is ready. It's going to be a good contest, although talk about matchups, a left arm spinner to a left-handed batter. The thing is, Mars hitting onto the onside will be against the wind. But that's still a very calculated and good move from Iftikhar. Now Mars Sadakat goes straight and downtown. First blow. This is some start for Allied Bank Stallions.
I don't think he's thinking about the wind. Go straight. First ball in his zone. Wasn't a bad delivery, but have a look at that. He was well settled in, good pace. Coming down the track, getting closer to the pitch of delivery. That's one way to start the final.
That is some confidence for you. Generally, finals are nervy affairs to begin with. Players and teams take their time to settle in. Sadakat, what are you talking about? He says, side changing field. This is short, whipped. He just come back for the second. What a start, Marina. What about that confidence?
Yeah, I think Mars throughout this tournament has shown his skill, has shown he can build innings, he can be destructive at times, can go on a back foot as well. He has steered his team, especially in that power play, brilliantly. And why not? If it's in your zone, it's T20 cricket, it's modern day cricket, go for it.
Very strong offside field. 4 fielders in the ring on the offside. Mid-off is back. Mid-on is in. Invitation to go slightly against spin for Yasir. On a land. Nawaz is very experienced. Obviously, he has a lot of experience of bowling in the power play. Done it for Quetta Gladiators for quite so many years. Particularly when PSL was being played in the UAE, mighty effective. With the angle picked up beautifully. What a start for Yasir as well, matching Mars with the initial 6. Allied Bank Stallions has got out of the blocks rapidly.
Yeah, just straying down the leg. But Nawaz on that occasion, it wasn't easy pickings for Yasir. All he had to do was pick the length, put the knee down. Not a great connection, done effortlessly. Well, going with the spin in the first over hasn't worked for UMT Markhor.
The first ball wasn't a bad ball, it was just a good shot by Mars. That really was asking for trouble. No sweeper back behind square on the onside. Literally a free hit with that kind of angle and pace. So we feel confident that he's finding the middle of the bat.
Yasir Khan is much more than these numbers on the screen. Got immense potential. Couldn't really convert the starts into a bigger innings. Need one today.
Smashing blow. That has gone way back into the second tier. What a strike from Yasir to close out the first over. And what a start. 19 for none. Well, what a sensational start this is for Allied Bank Stallions. Last blow, such a sweet sound. Really came out of the sweet spot. Very expensive from Nawaz. They have a reliable and very, very trustworthy Nawaz going for 19.
Yeah, UMT Markhor, they have a tendency not to put trust in their pacers up front with the new ball. We've seen Iftikhar and Nawaz, this was the first one, oozing with confidence. Mask coming down the track, a bad delivery on the pads, was picked up nicely by Yasir, but this one, wow, aggressive footwork and a big swing of the bat, sailed away.
Don't often you see that the ball being replaced after the first over. Took a severe beating. Landed in the concrete a couple of times. Zulfikar Jan came out with a box of balls. If they replaced, I'm not sure if they did actually, but they would have replaced it with a brand new one because it's very hard to find a one overall ball.
If you look at UMT Markhor's bowling planning, they have tried either Nawaz or Iftikhar in the power play, and I think that's one area where Allied Stallions have thought, okay, this is an opportunity, we can attack them straight away, because their pacers, Nisar has got the ball, but pacers haven't really delivered in terms of getting wickets with the new ball. So I think that's the plan. They knew that either Iftikhar or Nawaz will be coming, bowling within the power play, and that's our license to go, and they've done that.
Nisar has had a good tournament. Really have to bounce back for his skipper after that start. Slip in plays. Third is up in the ring already. Backward point deep on the boundary. That is a good start. Really jack back in to Mars of a good length.
Nisar likes to hit that hard length around 5 meters, skids on. Got to very experienced umpires out in the middle. Got experience on his hand. And his counterpart, quite animated already, Rashid Riaz.
Yasir will also be losing confidence. Those 2 sixes really, especially the last one. I really liked that one as a batter as well. Probably Yasir would have too. Yet and come back to the moment. It's the challenge. Kept low. Was it a slow delivery? I didn't really figure out, but it's unusual on this windy pitch to see balls dying down like that.
Yeah, Nisar, he did hit that deck hard. And you can see the surprise by Yasir. Just a wild swing, you don't want to do that. Now he would be more careful in picking that shorter length because it has stayed down.
In the man about his previous delivery, he's more circumspect. That one bounced normally, but we've seen on this windy pitch. It's a great strength of Nisar though. He hits the seam with the new ball and hits that back of a length. Generally very consistent around that 4 tops compliant.
Yeah, that has been his strength. That was with Malik. He was on the winning side with the women's one-day tournament. Another opportunity today.
Opportunity to get his hands on some silverware. Across the line, Yasir. Didn't get much of it. Didn't get any like that.
The best thing to counter this sort of double bounce is to make sure you connect the ball, extend your arms and keep your weight slightly forward. In that way you can have that cushion to adjust whether it's bouncing or not.
He's still coming in. This is quite pleasant. Nights ago it was freezing cold even at this time of the day. Today is much better, nice and sunny. Got over the top. What batting is this? What sensational hitting from Sadakat.
He's in a whole different mood for this final. Mars from ball 1 knew exactly what he has to do and what he wanted to do. Mars not happy with the line of attack. Bit of a flamingo shot from there. Mars through the line, covered it beautifully, and a whole swing of the bat.
The good thing is, going straight. Talk about line, length, right in the slot. Mars is in the mood today. Change of angles from Nisar. Cramp him now, but no change in field. Line is able to hold. Nicely played, just a knock down there from Akif. Just a single. The idea was right from Mars because third was up in the ring. He was looking for that boundary. Not to be. Good over from Nisar. Other than that, 6, 2 done. Allied Bank Stallions 28 for now.
ऐसे लगा लो ऐसे लगा लो
तो अभी लगा देना
Quite a strong breeze today. The direction of the breeze is changed. It's not as freezing as it was the other day. That was coming from the north. Akif Javed gradually got into better rhythm and form, coming back from an injury. 13 wickets, not a bad return. I was going to say he's the quickest of the lot in this Markhor's unit. First it just died down. Is it a change of pace?
Slightly holding within the surface. Even with this, how we saw that. And he has a tendency to hit fractionally short of a length. You have to be very careful because Mars and Yasser both will go explosive off the back foot. Mars Sadakat has been consistent throughout the tournament. Got 182 again against Markhor. Would like to repeat it today.
That is Akif, his natural length, back of a length. This one just left Mars Sadakat to bounce. That kind of length is a good length on this pitch, as long as your line is good. So,
yeah, you called it out correctly, as long as the line is correct, because Yasser and Mars both are quite comfortable playing off the back foot. But that line never allowed him to open the arm. So, Akif needs to focus on the line.
coming right across, he's gone straight up. That will be curtains. Nawaz, the man who was taken to cleaners, has the last laugh. And Vas Sadakat's final with the bat has come to an end.
Thing we were talking about, shorter length, but the line is important. Mars on that occasion is going towards the off stump, trying to cover the line and play it into the next side, but look, he was cramped for room, hurried onto him, couldn't really extend the arm. And Mars is furious. He's a happy guy, Akif.
There's that show of anger from Nawaz. Sees the back of Mars Sadakat for 15, Allied Bank Stallions 28. Very crucial phase of the game. Skipper Muhammad Haris is in. With 31, strike rate will always be up with Haris, but good to see him being so consistent in this tournament. 3 half centuries. Today is the big stage. You cannot falter on this big stage if you're the skipper of Allied Bank Stallions. Haris will be taking on a point. Akif Javed getting rid of Mars. Just the one slip in place. Cramp Haris for space. Love the room and the length. He's feeling the pinch at the moment because he's put a flush on the unpadded area.
Little role to play as a skipper. Yes, batter coming on down. Mars is trying to cover the line, but didn't have the room to extend the arm for that full shot. Trying to force that shot. And Nawaz was happy. His teammate has done the job. Important wicket for UMT Markhor.
Two right-handers. Greece will give Iftikhar a bit of sanity in terms of settling into a field placing. Oh, that's right back. Right back. Rashid Riaz says he's got a scratch on it. It did sound a little bit of woody. We'll see when we see the replay. But another good delivery. Pinging Yasir back in the crease.
Yeah, Yasir, a couple of deliveries have faced some problems facing Akif. Right in front of the stumps. And the idea was to got something. That indeed it was, and a good decision under pressure. UMT Markhor are now trying to counter the stuff.
Did Rashid Riaz just tell Yasir, don't tell me you hit it. I'm watching it. You don't need to do my job. How beautifully played. Nicely timed, but good solid knock from Akif with his foot. And a very successful over, bringing UMT Markhor back into the game after 3. Allied Bank Stallions 29 for 1. Stallions, after the whirlwind start, has been pegged back in the last over by Akif. Just the one leg by and a wicket. Now Nisar needs to do his job. Bowling in partnerships to really build pressure. Oh, Harris goes, and Harris goes over.
One of his signature shots. Nisar onto his pads, and he picked it up, and for a moment everyone thought that deep fight was in play. Look at that, all the hands doing the talking, and I think Harris had his heart in his mouth as well. For a moment we thought that he was in the game. Akif, say lower.
Akif, one of the tallest men on the pitch. There you go, anxious looks from Samad and Harris. It was really not a very good delivery from Nisar. Bowling these deliveries to Harris, and even though the sweeper was there, he took him on. Harris will do that. This is gone again. Be up the splice. Come back for the second. Harris will keep everyone busy out there. And if you're a fielding side, you've got to keep your hands nice and warm. It can come any time to you.
It's just that they need to understand, Harris and Yasir, it's not always a true bounce off the surface. This one got big on Harris. Went for the flashy blade, luckily evades the fielder. But they will be testing now. Nisar got vacant areas in towards the leg side. That's where Harris prefers. They would be trying to invite him to go for the big shot.
Quilleg has now gone back. One leg is up from the ring. Third with a slip in. Nisar needs to stay there and then ask Harris to change something, because that first delivery angling onto the pads, he conceded a 6. Last delivery is really the one that Nisar should be holding on to.
That was a perfect line within the stumps. Finishing around middle and off. Don't give Harris room because he'll be looking for it. Anything fractionally short, Harris has the tendency to play that full shot off the front foot as well.
Well, it didn't take Harris long to bring out that. Just taking 4 deliveries. change of pace from Nisar. That was clever bit of bowling. With Haris, you've got to be on your toes as a bowler.
I think UMT Markhor would be happy because that's usually the shot Haris plays when he is out of sorts. When he cannot score runs with the flow, he tends to do that in ovation. So UMT Markhor, they can sense that the pressure is getting to Haris.
Talk about sixes in power play. There's a lot of talk about how the opening batters or the top order batters need to come good in the power play and maximize the hit of many sixes. This has gone straight up. It will be a tough chance, a pressure catch, and it's been shelled. Akif Javed coming in, and Nisar cannot believe it. This is a huge moment.
I pointed out earlier that fielding will be very crucial in this final. Animated and furious, Iftikhar, and rightly so. He could have easily got Yasser out of the equation within the power play. Forcing that shot, pace wasn't there. Ballooned up, and look at that, no communication between these two. Rizan and Akif. Regulation catch. Well, life has been provided to Yasser.
He'll have to re-bowl that. Yeah, Iftikhar was absolutely furious. Generally, a very cool and calm character, but that moment really just made him angry, I guess, because there was no communication between the fielders.
Whenever you're fielding in the